welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go over how to take apart and install a septic tank float pump. I have a Liberty pump. I'll leave the model number down in the description, but a little backstory on what's been going on is the septic tank breaker kept tripping, and I've had an electrician out here, everything, and couldn't figure it out, so I started digging and found a junction box buried underground, and that was the issue. So hopefully this will help out somebody that's watching this, and yeah, you can like the video, so stay tuned. Thanks. All right, the very first step, what you always want to do is turn off the power. And disclaimer, if you are not an electrician, I highly recommend getting one to come and do this, and yeah, because you don't want to kill yourself. So there's your disclaimer. All right, so this over here is the first tank, and then it comes out to this overflow tank where the gray water comes out. And I figured out after digging all this up that the water, well, first of all, this float in here, it went bad. So the water went all the way to the top, backed up into here, and right here was a box for all the connections. So in this conduit down here, that wire goes straight to my service panel to the breaker. So the water went in here and got wet, moisture got in here, and that's what was tripping the breaker. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, fill it in with some couplings, and we're going to run all new wire for the float and the power cord. And I will show you how to run the wires also under the ground and under the house, so we can be alerted inside if this ever trips again. So stay tuned, and we'll have a little bit of fun in the sun. Alright, so now that we got this cut to the appropriate length, you can't just use a regular coupling, you gotta use a repair coupling that doesn't have the little groove in the middle so that it can slide. Alright, now this wire, like I said earlier, this right here goes right underground and back to the house to the breaker. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect it from the breaker. That way I can run a fish tape all the way down through there. Okay. It's very important to shut off the main. And you always want to test. So you still get power up here, so you do not want to touch those two. But down here, all this is off, so you're good to take off your breaker. This pops right off. And we'll go ahead and undo it so we can run new wires. So I'll go ahead and unhook this, and we'll move on to the next step. Alright, I went ahead and got everything unhooked, so this should just pull right up out of here. Alright, now I'm taking this fish tape and running it down that 3/4 PVC that I was showing you that goes to the breaker. I could go ahead and install all the rest of the conduit running to that junction box, but I think with this many turns, I'm going to just pull it through here, and then we can just add the conduit as we go. I'll show you in a minute. Should be out. Alright, so it's out. So now, go ahead and hook the wire up and run it through. Alright, now when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're using wet rated wire, because over time, if you just try to use regular Romex, all that moisture and water and everything would just sit inside that conduit, and it would eventually just wear out that insulation around there, and then that would create a short somewhere along the way, and you're just asking for problems. So best just to go ahead and do it right and use wet rated. So we'll go ahead and start pulling this down. And then we'll continue. See, that's what I meant. If I would have hooked all that conduit up and tried to pull it all the way through, it'd been a nightmare. All right. Now, what I was talking about, instead of trying to drag it all the way through there, we're going to just put it through as we go. So this will go in here and just throw it through there like that. Right. And then we'll take some PVC glue. Had this forever. Okay. Like that. Now, we'll just take our long piece, 3/4, and put it through. I mean, this stuff's not that hard for you to do. I mean, you just Really, you just need to use caution when working with electric, but know what your local codes are. So if you don't know, you could always call your codes department wherever you live. Go ahead and put some more glue on here. Like that. But first things first, we're gonna drill a hole right here. Well, I need to see where I could have it there, or probably more room here. So I'll probably put both, one there and one here. So we'll go ahead and just drill a hole here. And the way to do this, get a Forstner bit right here, hold it up, and just make sure it goes a little wider than the threads. So in that case, that's pretty good. So not too much to it. Okay. I can get it out of there now. There we go. So it's pretty tight. I'll take a little file, go in here and round this out just a hair so this can go up in there. Okay, I went ahead and put that lock ring on there. Get a little snug. There we go. Go ahead and cut this off. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of room in case I need it in the future, which I doubt, but you never know. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these down and then plug them in right here. And the float and all that will go here. There we go. So now just need to take a measurement from here to here, and then we'll know exactly what to measure. All right, now this is the wet rated 12 gauge wire. I know you can use like 14 UF, but this is what was ran under the house when it was built, so that's what we're putting here. It's going to be airtight anyway. No moisture is going to get in here because it's not going in nowhere near that tank. All right, now when we get here, I had to use a little offset here for a 1/2 inch offset so it would be able to come back behind this one. So now all we need to do is go ahead and put this one in. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a little bit of a duct seal in here underneath this washer, just to make sure no moisture gets in there. All right, this is, you can get this at your local big box store. I got it at Lowe's, pound of it. So we're just gonna take a little bit. Just kind of knead it around that, around there. Like that. And then we can tighten this back down here in a second. Probably would have been easier just to take this washer off first, then put it around it. Like so. It's probably a little overkill, but yeah. Go ahead and tighten this down. Alright, now that's tight. I don't know if you can see that. Let me show you. Okay. And I'm also going to put some down in here too, around here. Because I have it, why not use it? And this is really closed off. This goes to the service panel and this one's under the house, but you never know. Bugs and stuff. Just make sure I put that all around in there. Yep. Okay. Now we just need to put some cement on here and then feed this up under this. Yeah, it'll go. Just gonna go ahead and run this up through here. Cement on here. Okay. There we go. There we go. Let that dry a little bit and then we'll be ready to wire that up. Alright, here I'm going to be using a Liberty pump. I called the manufacturer Liberty customer service and they told me the exact one to get. I had to get a longer one with the 25-foot cable. So we'll go ahead and start setting this up. All right, I went ahead and took the old float off. All there is a washer right here on the back and then a screw here, but I want to go ahead and put some thread locker on here because I don't want this loosening over time. And you want to make sure you put it the same height as what it was. It comes from the factory. Okay. That's pretty tight. I don't think that's going anywhere, but just to be sure, extra precaution, we are going to tape this thing up a little bit. All right, now that I got it taped up, I'll go ahead and remove this lid. And this is where the fun part starts. I swear I don't ever want to have to work on this thing again. So the easy way to get this lid off is just take a crowbar, stick it under here like this, and lift up. Now we're going to go ahead and run our fish tape down through this outlet box, down into the tank. Should be good right there. Let me check it. Yep. All right. So here, this is the old float that came out of there. Phew. So you just want to take this, wipe this off right here at the end, because you're going to be taping it. Okay. And let me go ahead and get out the other float, because that's the alarm float. All right, got this from Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description. It's just a sump alarm. I went ahead and hooked it up. Basically, all it does is it goes through this little adapter. The instructions are included, and it's being held on by this strap. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a zip tie and tie these together right here. If it'll go, you have to double it up. As long as it does. Just need a little bit. Like that. Cutting it down. You want to see how hot it is out here? Yeah, that's sweat. Alright, I'm going to put some tape over this. I don't want this to fall. Okay. So now the fun part, we just get to hook up the ends down here to the fish tape. And pull them on through. I'm hoping I don't have to cut off this, but I think I will. Yeah, that's not gonna go. So let me just cut a little bit off of here. This, we can always tie it in inside the junction box because it won't go through that 2-inch conduit. So snap it off there. These two together. And you want to do it like this because you're gonna be pulling this way. So I always just stick it on top like that. Tape it on there. Get this wired up. Okay. That should be good right there. All right, go ahead and start pulling this through. Make sure I don't knock anything up in here. It's caught on something. I have to set this down in there for it to reach. Yeah. You know, first things. Forgot the power cord. Alright, I already got that pulled to as far as it's going to go, so now I have to set this in here. And I'll get a closer look here in a second. I just want to get it in here. Okay. That is in there. So here's what it looks like. It's all ran through. Now this is a quick connect. I highly recommend, if you don't have one on there, install one or call a plumber and have a plumber do it. And you just tighten it up like that. All right. So this is the cord that goes to the motor. I already stripped it back. And this is the end of the cut off, so we're going to go ahead and just do the same. Strip it back. That right there. All right, now there's not going to be any water in here, but I like to overdo things, so here are some waterproof connectors. That's what I'm going to be using, because I don't ever want to have to come out here and mess with this again. So I'll go ahead and get this wired up, and then we'll continue to hook everything else up. All right, got everything hooked up, so now is the time to flip the breaker. There we go, breaker is on. It should be pumping. Yep, I hear it. it's working. Yeah, you can see it's still draining. So that's good. I'll go over here and just do a quick overview of this wiring. There's just a little glimpse of everything, how it looks. And this is the box I'm using. It's a 1007936. But once I tighten this down too, I'll go ahead and put, you can see I've used silicone. I'll scrape that off and put a new bead around it just to keep that nice and dry. But hopefully this helped out somebody on here. Anyway, stay tuned and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you on the next video.